Hey everyone, and welcome back to Newark Liberty International Airport. I'm at the airport today to fly with an airline that I've been putting off for a while, and that's Allegiant Air. Back in 2018, Allegiant made the news when a 60 Minutes report highlighted a whole host of safety issues with the company's planes. However, the majority of the problems centered around their fleet of MD-80s, which have now all been replaced with A319s and A320s, and the FAA gave them a clean bill of health when they conducted an audit of the airline a few years ago. So I figured it was about time to give this ultra-low-cost carrier a try, and they were also by far the cheapest airline flying to where I needed to go today. Allegiant flies out of Terminal B here at Newark, a terminal that Felix from Simply Aviation rightfully described as one of the worst in North America. The departure areas of this terminal are dark and dingy and can get very cramped when there are multiple international flights leaving around the same time. Thankfully for me though, it wasn't very crowded this morning, and I was able to pass the time by doing a little plane spotting. Eventually, the 17-year-old A319 that would be taking me down to Asheville, North Carolina came into view. This plane started its career with Cebu Pacific and then joined Allegiant in 2015. She's not the newest plane, but I'm pretty excited to get on board after sitting around Terminal B for an hour. I bought a round-trip ticket for $215, which only allowed me to take one personal item on board. I was worried that Allegiant would be really strict about this and weigh and measure my backpack, but fortunately that didn't happen and boarding was pretty smooth. As you'd expect with a budget airline, you needed to pay for seat selection ahead of time, or you would be randomly assigned a seat at check-in. I was determined to save money on this flight, so I left this to chance, which worked out pretty well considering I ended up in a window seat. This A319 has a total of 156 economy seats arranged in a 3-3 configuration. 18 of these seats have extra legroom and are around the emergency exits and at the front of the plane. However, my seat for this flight is 17F and has the standard pitch of 30 inches.
For service to Asheville, North Carolina. Waiting on a couple pieces of paperwork and we'll be underway, anticipating on-time departure this morning.
Considering that this was an almost completely full flight, boarding was pretty smooth. The flight attendants worked hard to get everyone seated, and we left the gate on time.
Hope you enjoy the flight, thank you.
Although the captain did have some bad news.
Taxi time could take about 25 to 30 minutes just because they're using one runway for takeoff and landing, so please bear with us.
This was definitely unfortunate, but at least I didn't have a connecting flight to catch, and I had a window to enjoy the views as we slowly made our way to the runway. And after waiting for what seemed like forever, it was finally our turn to take off. Now that we're up in the air, let's take a closer look around. The seats on this plane are very similar to the ones you'll find on Spirit Airlines. They're basically just hard plastic shells that don't recline. Except there's a much larger tray table on Allegiant's A319, and there's no storage pocket, or cables acting like a storage pocket. And in case anyone is wondering, I flew back on their A320 coming home, and that plane had the same tiny seatback table as Spirit Airlines. The legroom was a little tight with Allegiant, but at least there were overhead air vents and reading lights. Overall, for a short 2-hour flight, I found this seat to be perfectly fine. Although I'm not sure how I'd fare on a longer flight. As with other budget airlines, there's no complimentary food or drinks, but instead Allegiant has a buy on board menu. I was feeling a little peckish, so I decided to buy this bag of Doritos for $4. This plane has 3 restrooms on board, 2 in the back and 1 in the front. In terms of in-flight entertainment, there's a magazine and whatever you downloaded on your phone or tablet before the flight. It would be nice if Wi-Fi was available, but maybe they'll add it once they start to receive their new 737 MAXs in 2024. Also, there's no outlets on board, so make sure to pack a portable battery to charge your phone. But with such beautiful scenery outside of the window, this flight went by pretty quickly, and before I knew it, we were getting ready to land. If you watched my last video, then you'll know that I had some apprehensions about flying with Allegiant. But I didn't have any real issues on this or my return flight with them. The crew was professional and there were no incidents with unruly passengers, and Allegiant got me to where I needed to go safe and affordably. If I booked the same trip with United, it would have cost over $700 round trip and would have been aboard an Embraer 170. With that kind of price difference, I'm happy to give up free drinks and a seat that reclines. So would I fly with Allegiant again? Yeah, probably, as long as it's not a really long flight and the price is right. And that'll do it for this trip report. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.